Guys, live from ISC West, we are at the Inaxsys booth and I'm joined by Muhammad. Muhammad, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a great show. So today we're going to spend some time and talk a little bit about Inaxsys. So we are a full basket company headquartered out of Montreal. We operate in Canada and in the US. Today we're going to focus on our LegendNX line of NVRs and cameras. So these are NDAA-compliant cameras, which is very important now in the industry. Another big thing about these cameras is they are non-Chinese made products available as well, which is again another thing that we are seeing more and more the demand of. Of course, we carry the traditional products, but we are seeing a demand more for these types of products in the industry. So today I'll give you a little bit of demonstration on the LegendNX product.
All right, so LegendNX NDA compliant. This is something we hear big buzz around in the security industry, but so what's special about this interface that we see here?
So with this interface, one of the most productive thing about it is that the ease of use. So generally, you're gonna have people in the industry that are accustomed to different brands of cameras, and then when they're switching, one of the barriers could be, oh, I have to learn a whole new ecosystem. With the LegendNX, it's very easy to use. The products come in 4-channel NVRs, 8-channel NVRs, 16-channel, 32, and then we scale up to the larger types of products, which are going to be 128 channels, 64 channels, 256. So really there's a product for every niche of the marketplace, depending on the scope and size of the projects. In terms of the interface itself, these cameras feature a lot of smart features. So basically the cameras have smart motion detection, face detection, and perimeter protection detection. So if we look at a system, for example, this camera here, we have this one camera features smart motion, line crossing, face detection, loitering. Now, a lot of times when you look at products in the marketplace, if you are using, for example, one feature of line crossing, then you can't use face detection. So you're basically limited in terms of the number of features you can use at one time. So one of the nice features about NX is that we can use smart detection in conjunction with line crossing, and we can also do face detection. So this is a really cool feature to be able to have a single camera do multiple what's called VCAs at the same time. Okay, so that's really cool about it. Also, these products come with an app. So the app basically gives you all the notifications that you would need, and the app can be given to as many users as possible. Also, you have access via a web interface or from a GUI interface. And the GUI interface can be installed on any Windows machine, and it's easy to manipulate and get through.
And now I see on the screen there that you have many LegendNX cameras. So in what type of form factor do you offer this new brand?
So this product comes in all the available form factors. So if you look at some of the demos we have here, we have the turret form factor, which is the easy to maneuver and manipulate form factor. We have the dome form factor, and then of course we have mini domes. Okay, not featured, of course, we also have the bullet form factors for special applications. And then we have specialty cameras with multi-lens capability. We have cameras that are going to do PTZ control. We have cameras that are going to do like a multi-bubbles, so that you can have different angles in a corner. So instead of having two cameras in an area, you can have one camera and angle it to different sides of the building. So these are the different form factors that are available with this type of camera.
And now, at the beginning, you mentioned that Inaxsys is a manufacturer of many solutions. So now we're seeing one portion of your video surveillance offering, so the NDAA-compliant LegendNX. I believe you have also one of the best video management software that works on this booth itself. So is it possible to see maybe a demo of this one?
Of course. So you'll be talking about our archive software. So our archive software is on a different station.
Now, this is your Arkiv VMS. Can you tell us a little bit more about the platform itself and maybe some use case for who it's aimed for?
Yeah, definitely. So Arkiv basically is our flagship VMS, so video management software. The big thing about Arkiv basically is that it is an enterprise level system, and it will scale as low as you want or as high as you want depending on the application. Okay, So this product here is able to integrate with over 10,000 different manufacturers, different devices and cameras. And also we can integrate natively to those devices, or we can integrate using the ONVIF protocol. The big advantage of a product like this is based on the cost model. So you're getting a product that basically comes in at a very attractive price model without a recurring cost structure on the licensing side. So a lot of times in the industry, when you look at the VMS software, the sort of one of the drawbacks is that yes, you're paying for a license, but then you have to pay this recurring cost structure every year. So one of the places that Arkiv shines is that with us, you buy the license once, the client owns the license forever, and there's no future upgrade, no future recurring cost. Okay, and so with this model, the client knows exactly what they're paying for and what they're going to get. That's going to include future upgrades. The other nice thing about it is that you might have clients that have already made an investment into an existing VMS or into a whole host of existing cameras. A lot of times when you're going into the VMS space, you're going to have to say, okay, we're going to put in a new VMS, but these cameras are not going to work. You got to take them out. So with Arkiv, the big advantage is that we can integrate into those cameras, and we can take quote unquote dummy cameras or non-smart cameras, and we can make them smart cameras. So for example, you know, we could technically take a camera that doesn't have a feature like facial recognition, and we can run that facial recognition feature basically directly on the camera. So we can actually go into the camera and we can create a facial recognition feature. So face recognition on that camera, even though the camera doesn't have face recognition. So that's a really powerful tool. We can also run neural analytics off of the camera. As you can see here, it's tracking the individuals directly. And then one of the big features about this product is something called post-analytic search. Basically gives you the ability to go back in time and search for events that the camera was not set up to look for. So in a lot of cases, when people install a camera, they're going to say, look, we're going to set up this camera to look for cross lines in this area of the field of view. But it might be the case that down the road that it turns out that, hey, some incident has occurred outside of that area. And so you want to be able to go and say, hey, can we do a quick search in that area? One of the big things about Arkiv is the ability to do the post-analytic search, where you can actually go into a camera. We're going to make this a little bigger. We can go into a camera, and we can pick from a host of smart searches that this camera was not set up to do. So for example, we can search for loitering. We can say we want to search for loitering, and we can state, you know, how long of a duration do we want for the loitering to be queried for, even though this camera isn't set up for that. We can search, for example, for, let's say, for example, area to area. So this is a very common one. Maybe something went missing in an area and you're looking to find it. And this is very dynamic. I can adjust this anywhere within the camera. Normally, these spaces have to be predefined in that camera. So the ability to go back in time and do a search like this. Now, this is a show, so it's busy, so we're probably gonna get a lot of hits. Basically, it's going to track the activity as people traverse through from area to area. But imagine having this in a parking lot, right? Where there's maybe a car goes missing. Right? And so you can come in and instead of spending, you know, maybe an hour of your morning trying to figure out when this thing happened, what happened to that vehicle, and tracking it, you can quickly just locate that information and do a quick search, and then right away you've saved, you know, a half hour, an hour of your time that you can just get back and continue your day.
And now, because you were mentioning, this can work with any camera. So it's not just about facial detection. Even the neural tracker can work with a dummy camera, let's say?
Absolutely, 100%. So that's the thing we keep stressing about Arkiv, is the ability to take those cost-effective systems that have been deployed, sunk capital that's already out there, and say, look, you don't have to go, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, and change out your whole system. We can take your existing cameras and we can add analytics to them, because we're going to run that analytics off of the server. And of course, the software is going to come with various ways to interface into it. So out of the box, Arkiv comes free with a web interface that's going to connect your system to the cloud and give you cloud access from anywhere without having to install a client. So you basically can access from your laptop or computer. You just log on to the cloud portal. You have access to all your footage. All the smart searches that I did are going to be available through that cloud access, okay? In addition to that, you get a free app. the app will also give you the ability to do those smart searches, right? Very flexible. And then of course you can control those users that you're giving access to at different levels. So maybe not everybody needs access to all the cameras. You could basically tune and figure out who needs access to what. So it's a very flexible system. And a lot of times when we're deploying this, like, I mean, we've deployed and sold this to different scopes of projects where, hey, yes, there may be an application where there's maybe 25 cameras, and you could put an NVR and make it a straightforward thing, but the client might have a demand for more customized features with a smaller number of cameras, and so we can deploy an archive system that's going to give them that feature set, even though they don't have 100 cameras. So there's a lot of times where we're doing medium-sized projects where we're doing an archive system because it gives all these additional features that the customer would ordinarily have to go spend big money for a higher-end VMS. But then, of course, we can scale up into the larger sites. So some of the sites we've done, this stuff scales in hospitals. We've put them in. We've had them in cities where they run the full government city facilities. So it's quite scalable. It's in the cannabis space. It's in airports. It's all over the place that we can deploy a system like this because of the scalability, and then you can go to pretty much any vertical that you want and sell a product like this.
Yeah, because having the neuro tracker, it makes it so you can adapt to any industry as well. So as you were talking, whether it's cannabis, whether it's a parking lot, whether it's an hospital, you're able to track specific action that are required by the end user.
Oh yeah, 100%. And also too, the cost to operate these systems comes down significantly because the neuro tracker is using GPU processing, but the cost of that stuff is constantly coming down. So we're getting these machines that are now, more compact, and they have a lot more oomph in them, and so the cost model on them is lower, but you're able to get a lot more out of them. So the ability to do that neuro tracker off of the server, the cost of that has come down significantly, so you can deploy that across many, many cameras without having to worry about overloading your system.
All right, and now one interesting thing that I see on the screen is these yellow towers right there. I believe this is your SiteGuard remote solution. Is it possible to see them?
Yeah, this is a great product, easy deployment product. I'll take you over and give you an intro into it. So this is another one of our really cool products that we have. It's called the SiteGuard product. And SiteGuard basically is a product that can be deployed at construction sites. So you'll notice at the show, there are a lot of products where it's a full-blown trailer. It's going to require separate power, a lot of extra hardware. It's going to need a lot of data, switches. It's going to need data for transmission. Whereas SiteGuard is a product that you can deploy and you drop it on site and you're ready to go because it comes out of the box with everything you need. So basically what you have here is a solar panel, and then we have this for a flat top, or you can have it an inverted V top, so that you can deploy this both in warm climates and then in colder North American climates. So basically inside the unit, we have an Ajax box, an Ajax hub, and that hub is going to communicate wirelessly with the motion detectors. The motion detectors have built in a camera, and once this is deployed and armed up, the premise is that when it gets triggered, it's going to send to the end user, the monitoring station, or the guard service, a notification with a motion picture. So it is a pic, but it's like one of those motion pics that you take off your phone, and it's going to show you what caused the alarm. So once you have this information, you can decide if it's a legitimate thing to address or if it's something else that you can ignore. Okay?
Yes, because right now there's a lot of noise, but we heard the alarm ringing off when you remove the top. So this is kind of an example.
Yeah, so this is tamper-proof as well. So if there's any tampering with the product, you're going to get a notification on the app. Also, it's if you trip it over, it's also going to notify you of that as well. The unit can be secured to the floor, and then another way to deploy this is you can also do a lease product. So this is very helpful for dealers where they can say, you know what, we're going to get recurring revenue from a product like this because we're going to lease it out to construction sites. So they put it on site one, it's there for maybe 3-4 months, and then they move it to another site, and it's the same product that they can use to generate recurring revenue.
And what would happen, let's say it's a big construction site, right? So you have one application to manage all your SiteGuard towers.
Yeah, so everything comes into one app, and basically you can tie multiple SiteGuards together. So you can have like a master SiteGuard, and these devices have a range of about 1 kilometer open air. So really the site can be as massive as you want it to be with multiple units on site, and then everything ties together on an app. In this example, we have it on a tablet, but it could just as easily be on a mobile phone, okay? So on the mobile phone, you're gonna be able to get all the notifications. So whenever you see it says shock detection, that was me interrupting it earlier. And then you have the option, let's see here, lid closed. So for example, motion detect, and it's going to take a motion pic of the incident. So imagine that's deployed on site somewhere, you'll be able to clearly see if this is a legitimate threat that needs to be addressed or not.
And all those SiteGuard towers. So let's say I am a consultant, I want to request this type of product for one of my sites. So it comes already equipped with all the Ajax equipment?
Yeah, so basically this comes already pre-wired. We can have it pre-programmed and ready to go, so that all that the dealer has to do is activate it and they're good to go.
Yeah, that making life easier for everyone.
Easy for everybody, exactly.
Muhammad, thank you again for the tour. Now, what do you have to say to our viewers? What was the reason why Inaxsys came to ISC West this year? Anything you would like to add as a last word?
Well, I mean, listen, it's been a great showing for us. You know, it's a lot of foot traffic and getting people in here. But, you know, they're, for whatever reason, sometimes dealers are not able to get here. So, you know, we want to be able to showcase our products for the people that are here and see what we're able to do as a Canadian company operating both in the US and Canada. And we want to be able to reach out to dealers on our media channels and say, hey, look at all the products that we have. We have established products in the marketplace. We have end-to-end solutions for video. We have end-to-end solutions for access control. We have end-to-end solutions for VMS software, right? We even sell power supplies that basically will fit the niche, the market for, you know, all applications from door strikes to mag locks. So we're a full basket company, and we just want to be able to have dealers, you know, get to know us better, and us to get to know those dealers better and support them in what they do every day, which is to get out there, sell their products, provide a good solution to their clients, and we just want to be able to support that. And we have a full team across the country and in North America to do that. So that's
well, Mohamed, thank you again for your time. Have a great show.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, guys.